What it do, YouTube? It's your boy, Stank815, and I'm back with another video. Y'all new to this channel, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, comment, get notified when I drop these videos. Even if you're not new, hit that like button, comment, let me know how y'all feel. Matter of fact, just smash that like button. I really appreciate it. Today's video is about Kevin Hart. He actually said some interesting things, you guys, that really kind of like, I don't know. Like I said, I rock with Kevin Hart, but I rock with Katt Williams more. If I had to choose, I'm definitely choosing Team Katt Williams, not Kevin Hart. But let's get into this video, and I want y'all to give me y'all opinion and what y'all feel about what he said in this video.
His black card needs to be revoked. The minute he opened his mouth and said this.
If you look in the hood, there's liquor stores and check cashing places. You know why? Because they know that the people in the hood aren't smart enough to open up bank accounts.
The internet has been buzzing with drama recently, and the focus of attention is none other than the comedic superstar Kevin Hart. In a recent appearance on Grant Cardone's Power Players podcast, Kevin Hart broke away from the usual discussions about his entertainment career and instead delved into topics related to his businesses and entrepreneurial ventures.
Have you always had that discipline?
With money?
Yeah.
No, you got balls to know what to do right.
Notably, a segment of the conversation that caught significant attention on social media was Kevin's perspective on how systemic racism contributes to the perpetuation of poverty in disadvantaged neighborhoods.
Because they know that the people in the hood aren't smart enough to open up bank accounts. They're going to get a check, they're going to cash it, and it's a liquor store right next to it. You're going to get your check, and you're going to buy this liquor, and then you're not going to have no more money.
In the now infamous clip, Kevin Hart takes the stage to address the issue of how the government and big businesses exploit the lack of financial literacy in low-income communities.
We don't want you to gain credit. We want you to be cash-driven. That's how we keep the poor.
First and foremost, Kevin Hart's comments are problematic because they rely on harmful stereotypes and generalizations about residents of low-income neighborhoods. By insinuating that these individuals aren't smart enough to open bank accounts, he oversimplifies the complex factors that contribute to financial difficulties in such communities. It's a classic case of victim blaming, and it didn't sit well with many. Furthermore, Hart's assertion that liquor stores and check cashing places are strategically placed to keep people cash-driven and poor comes off as conspiracy theory level thinking. While it's true that predatory financial services can target vulnerable communities, the situation is far more nuanced than a simple scheme to keep people impoverished. Structural inequalities, historical disadvantages, and discriminatory lending practices also play significant roles. Then there's the audacious claim that we don't want you to gain credit. This implies that financial institutions, the government, and big businesses are all in cahoots to keep low-income individuals from building credit and improving their financial standing. Such a sweeping statement is not only misleading, but also lacks substantial evidence to support it. Additionally, Hart's comments conveniently overlook the numerous efforts and initiatives aimed at promoting financial literacy and inclusion in underserved communities. Many organizations, both nonprofit and for-profit, are working tirelessly to provide financial education, affordable banking options, and resources to help individuals break free from the cycle of poverty. Ignoring these efforts paints an incomplete and biased picture of the situation. Unsurprisingly, Kevin Hart's comments didn't go unnoticed or unchallenged. Social media was quick to react, and the backlash was swift and fierce. People from all walks of life, including activists, educators, and fellow celebrities, took to Twitter, Instagram, and other platforms to express their disappointment and anger at Hart's remarks. One ex-user reacted to the post, saying Hart had a real "I forgot where I came from" moment. The social media user added that his commentary was very much a response without acknowledging facts, and that some folks leave the hood and altogether forget the plight. Another user wrote, "I need people to stop blaming us for systematic oppression. We aren't the ones that opened up the liquor stores or opened all the payday loan places." A third person added, "Kevin Hart says the hood is full of liquor stores and check cashing payday loan places because people aren't smart enough to have bank accounts. These celebs get a little money and think they can comment on planned systemic poverty and financial exploitation." However, things took an unexpected turn when one Instagram user commented, "Doesn't he have an alcohol company?" In 2022, Kevin Hart expanded his entrepreneurial portfolio by diving into the world of spirits, notably launching his own tequila brand called Gran Coramino. This endeavor was no ordinary undertaking, as he partnered with Juan Domingo Beckman, an 11th generation tequila producer, to create a product that would stand out in a crowded market. When asked about his motivation for entering the tequila business, Hart expressed a desire to offer something unique to consumers. He aimed to craft a product that would not only appeal to his fans, but also tell a story that had not been told before. In his own words, he wanted to cater to my culture and a generation who has never tasted a Cristalino before, underscoring his commitment to authenticity and innovation. One of the standout moments in Gran Coramino's journey was the launch of its cinematic campaign in August. The campaign artfully portrayed Gran Coramino as more than just a tequila brand. It became a symbol of hard work, ambition, and dedication. The campaign also paid tribute to the glamour of old Hollywood, capturing the essence of classic cinema while highlighting the brand's dedication to quality and excellence. Gran Coramino has not only made waves for its unique marketing approach, but also for its commitment to social responsibility. The brand has pledged to donate a portion of its proceeds to support entrepreneurs in both the United States and Mexico. Specifically, $1 from the sale of every 750 ml bottle goes toward empowering aspiring business owners in the US and Mexico. It's quite the buzz in the gossip mill when Kevin Hart, who's no stranger to controversy, openly criticizes liquor stores in predominantly black neighborhoods, all while being the owner of a liquor company himself. But, well, that's just Kevin, always willing to bend his principles if it means boosting his bank account. And it's not the first time this facet of Hart's character has been brought into the spotlight. Katt Williams, the sharp-tongued comedian, has previously shed light on this very aspect of Hart's career and business decisions. You see, Williams once spoke about his ongoing feud with Hart, and it appears that Katt's primary concern is Kevin compromising his principles for fame.
So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
Despite Kevin's counterattacks, accusing Katt of blaming Hollywood for his personal problems, Katt remains steadfast in his stance. For context, over the past few years, Kevin has presented himself as a tireless world-touring comedian, often boasting about being the hardest-working comedian in the industry. His Twitter bio succinctly states, "My name is Kevin Hart and I work hard. That pretty much sums me up. Everybody wants to be famous, but nobody wants to do the work." However, some people argue that Kevin's success isn't solely attributed to his hard work. Among these critics is Katt Williams, who has suggested that Kevin made compromises with influential figures in the entertainment industry. To provide context, the roots of this feud can be traced back to when Katt Williams began to question the trajectory of Kevin Hart's career. Williams subtly hinted that Hart had possibly sold his soul to reach the pinnacle of Hollywood stardom. At the heart of this insinuation was the notion that black entertainers in the industry, especially comedians, were often pressured into wearing dresses on screen before being allowed to access the next level of fame. Williams wasn't the first to raise this concern. It had been a long-standing rumor in Hollywood. This wasn't just a passing comment. It was a provocative assertion that gained significant traction. The idea was that entertainers of color, including Kevin Hart, were being pushed to compromise their principles to achieve success. Williams' remarks hinted at a hidden force within the entertainment industry that dictated these terms. It was a Pandora's box of conspiracies, with whispers of a secret society influencing decisions behind the scenes. Dave Chappelle, another revered comedian, added fuel to this fire during his appearance on Oprah's show in 2006. Chappelle talked openly about his refusal to accept a $50 million deal from Comedy Central. He felt that such deals came with strings attached, and he was unwilling to be controlled or humiliated for the sake of a paycheck. Chappelle's revelations didn't end there. He recounted being asked to wear a dress for a movie scene, an experience that left him deeply uncomfortable. According to him, many comedians had faced similar situations, having to don dresses on screen, and it often coincided with a critical juncture in their careers. This, too, was a nod to the prevailing industry belief that black entertainers needed to cross this peculiar threshold to advance. Fast forward to 2012, when Kevin Hart was asked about Dave Chappelle's claims during a radio show. While he didn't explicitly say no to ever wearing a dress, Hart emphasized the importance of personal boundaries. He stated that crossing these boundaries was non-negotiable for him.
You have to have boundaries. You have to have
limits that you refuse to cross.
He even cited examples of bizarre requests he had received, such as dribbling a basketball on a talk show, which he politely declined. Hart stressed the importance of protecting his brand and the potential risks of compromising it. However, just a year later, Hart appeared in an SNL skit where he donned a dress, a move that drew sharp criticism from fans. Some accused him of being a sellout, arguing that he had contradicted his earlier stance. The skit portrayed him as a 9-year-old child pope, an image that many believed didn't align with the Kevin Hart they had come to know.
The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee,
Katt Williams seized this opportunity to reignite the feud. He suggested that Kevin Hart's actions on SNL were merely part of a larger pattern, insinuating that Hart was willingly playing by the industry's rules to secure fame and fortune. Williams opined that Hart's success allowed him to escape criticism for wearing a dress, as a long line of comedians had already done so before him.
At the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him.
He pointed to movies like Big Mama's House and the Medea franchise as examples of previous instances where comedians had donned dresses. Williams didn't go all out in his attack on Hart. Instead, he subtly questioned the choices made by comedians who aimed for mainstream success. He hinted that some entertainers, including himself and Dave Chappelle, were willing to go against the grain and, as a result, might never attain the same level of fame as Hart. The feud took a heated turn when Kevin Hart, fed up with Williams' insinuations, unleashed his frustration during an appearance on the Breakfast Club radio show. Hart hit back hard, accusing Katt Williams of dodging responsibility for his actions, particularly his issues with the law and substance abuse. He argued that Williams had squandered opportunities and positioned himself as a risk to studios, which eventually led to a decline in his career. Hart wasn't mincing words. He laid the blame squarely on Williams' choices. Hart emphasized that he had worked diligently to achieve success and hadn't compromised his principles. He pointed to Williams' own issues, implying that Williams was trying to deflect blame by attacking him. According to Hart, comedy was a serious business, and those who succeeded did so through hard work and dedication, not by succumbing to industry pressures. At its core, this feud became a clash of values and principles. Katt Williams seemed to represent a group of comedians who believed in staying true to their art and resisting any attempts at conformity, even if it meant staying on the fringes of the industry. On the other hand, Kevin Hart was seen as someone who had navigated the mainstream with remarkable success, but was not willing to compromise his values or image. Williams implied that comedians like him and Dave Chappelle couldn't reach the same level of success as Kevin Hart because they refused to bow to the industry's whims. He suggested that they might be pushed to do things they were uncomfortable with for the sake of fame. The message was clear. There were boundaries, and crossing them came at a price. The feud continued to evolve, with both comedians taking swipes at each other. The idea of a versus battle was floated, igniting the imagination of fans. Katt Williams later clarified that he wasn't blaming Hollywood for his own choices, but was merely highlighting the option to either stand by one's principles or compromise for success. Williams emphasized that he hadn't been blackballed or denied opportunities due to his unwillingness to conform. He explained that his choices were deliberate, including not accepting sponsorships or endorsements. His message was clear. He couldn't be bought, not because he wasn't for sale, but because he wasn't in the store. In any case, to evaluate the validity of Katt's claims, it's essential to first understand the trajectory of Kevin Hart's career and how he achieved such remarkable success in the world of comedy. Kevin Hart's initial foray into the world of comedy can be traced back to the late 1990s when he began his comedic odyssey by performing at various comedy clubs. These humble beginnings allowed him to hone his craft, experiment with his comedic style, and gradually gain recognition within the comedy circuit. Hart's comedic approach was characterized by its relatability and self-deprecating humor, a unique blend that resonated with a diverse audience. One of the most pivotal aspects of Hart's rise to fame is his unwavering work ethic. He embarked on a relentless journey of performing in countless small comedy clubs, relentlessly perfecting his material and refining his stage presence. His commitment to his craft was evident to anyone who witnessed his performances. It is imperative to understand that Kevin Hart's initial fame was not an overnight sensation, but rather the culmination of years of tireless effort and unwavering persistence. Nonetheless, There have been claims that suggest Kevin Hart's ascent to stardom was primarily driven by effective marketing and promotional strategies rather than his intrinsic comedic talent. To thoroughly examine this assertion, we must acknowledge that marketing and promotion have always been pivotal in the entertainment industry. Hollywood, in particular, is an industry where talent alone is not always sufficient to guarantee success. The ability to market and promote oneself effectively often serves as the differentiating factor between obscurity and stardom. This reality is especially pronounced in the realm of comedy, where numerous exceptionally talented comedians vie for limited opportunities on stage and screen. In Kevin Hart's case, it is undeniable that he benefited from effective marketing and promotion. Hollywood recognized his immense potential and made significant investments in him as a rising star. Movie studios and television networks, in particular, discerned the mass appeal of his comedic style and promptly cast him in various projects. However, it is crucial to emphasize that Kevin Hart's comedic talent is a genuine and undeniable facet of his success. His ability to connect with audiences through humor is a fundamental factor that initially drew the attention of Hollywood decision makers. Marketing and promotion in this context served as tools to amplify his existing talent and extend his reach to a broader and more diverse audience. The recognition of Kevin Hart's potential as a bankable star by Hollywood executives and marketing teams was grounded in his innate comedic prowess. They saw him as a valuable asset and invested heavily in promoting his brand, which included booking him for larger venues and casting him in high-profile movies and television shows. This strategic approach was designed to capitalize on Hart's existing talent while also expanding his visibility and influence in the entertainment industry. In essence, Kevin Hart's journey to stardom is a multifaceted narrative that combines his genuine comedic talent with effective marketing and promotion. While it is undeniable that Hollywood played a significant role in amplifying his success, it is equally essential to recognize that his comedic genius was the foundation upon which this success was built. Nevertheless, Kevin's remarkable success doesn't negate the undeniable reality that his comments regarding black neighborhoods were disrespectful and
How y'all feel about what how y'all feel about what Kevin Hart said about the liquor stores and blacks and stuff like that? I want to know, and I'm gonna respond back to y'all. You know, I got my opinion, but I want to hear y'all opinion. So y'all comment and let me know what y'all feel about Kevin Hart saying what he said.